This is from Ben. This juicy little bit of gossip started in the 80s, continued into the 90s, and may well continue on into the future. Here's hoping. My older brother, my sister for the sixth form, and myself all attended the same middle-of-the-road Surrey public boarding school. One day, one of the boys, Boy A, went round to his mate's house, and while he was there, he discovered a videotape upon which had been recorded the saucy antics of his friend's parents. From what I've heard, it included the father, we'll call him Mr. Smith, instructing Mrs. Smith to get your nylons off. Before walking into view sporting a fine pair of leather Grundies with a zip. Then they got butt naked and started to fuck.
Get to the point.
Boy A did whatever any self-respecting, God-fearing friend would do in the same situation and took it upon himself to steal the aforementioned videotape, take it into school and show it to everyone in his house for a week or so, and then distribute it to all of the other houses in the school to enjoy. That could have been that, except that one day, at some point afterwards, it turned out not to be. A different boy had been waiting at the train station in his school uniform when a car pulled up. The window rolled down and a lady offered to give him a lift up to school as her son went there too. They chatted a bit on the journey. It became clear she was none other than Mrs. Smith. The boy may have said something about her nylons or about her husband's Grundies. We'll probably never know what, but suffice it to say she knew exactly what he was going on about. The boy got deposited at school and Mrs. Smith went on her way. The next day, Smith Jr. was nowhere to be seen. And in fact, he never again returned to that school. But there were rumours that his parents did not take to it very well. The story went down in school folklore to be repeated by various gossip mongers over the year. That could have been that. Except that one day, at some point afterwards, it turned out not to be. One such gossip monger decided it was a good idea to dust off the old Smith story to a dinner party of friends, strangers and acquaintances. That gossip monger was my sister. The story went down extremely well and everyone had a great laugh at the Smiths' expense. Or so my sister thought. Soon after the meal had finished, however, one of the slightly older couples that had been in attendance made a hasty exit.
Oh my God.
Upon some very light detective work, it became apparent that their son had once attended the very same school that we had, and that they were Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And fuck me, if my sister hadn't just told the Smith story to the very stars of the 80s amateur fuck tape.
Oh, amazing.
That could have been that. Except that one day, at some point afterwards, it turned out not to be. You guys decided to start a gossip and decided that the Smith story would be perfect for it.
If he's got another level after this, then and that.
I like to think that the Smiths have put all this behind them for the umpteenth time and have moved on with their lives. However, a tiny evil piece of me can't help but hope that they'll be walking down the road in the very near future, only to hear Poppy yelling their story out of the window for the whole world to hear just one last time.
Oh, superb.
Love the
beautiful.
podcast. Brilliant,
Oh,
Ben.
well done, Ben.
Wow.
Little did the Smiths know, when they decided to film themselves fucking each other, that their dirty, sexy evening together would live on and on. And on and on. And on and on. and be told by generations for thousands and thousands of years. Congratulations, the Smiths. Leather underpants with a zip. Sexy fucking leather underpants with a zip. Gossip number 4.